Let's hope it can hear me. Let me just set up everything. Let me just check the sound. One moment. Looks like everything's good. Right, greetings everyone. I don't know if you've seen, but I'm going to be doing, well, I'm going to start streaming, hopefully tomorrow as well, and then into the future. I'm going to be streaming myself working on PlayStation Home Offline because recent developments, so in previous updates of PS Home Offline, there's always been these two huge burdens on PlayStation Home, and I didn't really want to talk about them because they were technical and I'd get asked to break it and I didn't know how. So let me explain these two burdens. They are known as Shark, that's spelt like the sea creature, but instead of a K it's a C, SHARC, and then there's Lua, which is LUA. Now let's go over what Shark is. So Shark was introduced to PlayStation Home in about mid-2013. And all the content after that got encrypted to Shark. Meaning that I couldn't touch it until now. I couldn't add it. The only thing I could get was screen links from that era. And so that's why you only really saw old spaces. Well, not old spaces, but spaces that, for example, you didn't see the bowling apartment because I couldn't add it. Because that was only in Shark form. And then there's Lua. And that is the reason that the majority of minigames don't work. Because Lua is also an encryption, and it was introduced about early 2010, I believe. So that's why only really old spaces, I should say, actually work. But those two things, Shark and Lua, are no longer a problem. And I have a tool to decrypt them now. And now I'm going to show you what I've been doing since Monday. So the tool to crack Shark and Lua came out on Monday. And on top of that, if you go to update 3.12 new spaces, this is work in progress. So what you see is not final. I could change this at any time. And there's a lot of stuff that's broken. I just make it look like it's complete from the get-go. But anyways, as you can see, there's a lot of spaces in this one update. So where should we start? Let's go to Tundra Lounge. Yep. Polar Rush Tundra Lodge, sorry. Open house. And then we go over here. You sort of have to look to the left. Well, your character has to. If you turn right too much, or if you come from over here, you'll just lock onto that. So instead, you kind of have to move to the left, enter VIP area, and there we go. And then if you go all the way down here, as you can see, there's a pair of jet skis. We go in front of the jet skis, and go to start game, change the color, we change the model, blah, blah, blah. It works. Now let's go. I've never actually played this until now. I've just had so much fun whizzing about this for the past few hours. Because I got this working today. Woo! I think actually doing those stunts actually give you like a speed boost. Which is cool. Oh, I wish I found this back then. I was playing PlayStation Home until the end, but never found it. Yeah, you do bounce into a lot of trees if you just go reckless like I do, but I think I've mastered it. Although some of you might remember this game differently, And if you remember like a version where you can select tracks, I did actually try that, but the game was very clever and it detected something it was wrong, and so I wasn't able to go far. So this is essentially like a demo version of the game, I think, based on what I've seen of it. Obviously this is my first time seeing it, or first day. Yeah, I love doing this. But let's go over some of the more basic ones. What I love about this is you can actually get off and walk around. Like, this is all fully... This is intentional. I thought it'd spawn you back over there and then just move the jet ski back. But nope. You can fully explore this area. Neither do I. Don't worry, Blackheart. Neither do I. Let's say we go to, I don't know, Paradise on a Blue Whale. This one, I can't believe I didn't experience because I know I would have loved this. Let's go there. And what I like is I've gotten most of the minigames working here. Well, they all function, but they don't function properly, some of them. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So it starts on a black screen, and it starts with this cutscene. Paradise on a Blue Whale. When I first saw this space in just picture format, I actually thought that whale was dead. But it's not. There's a full-on cutscene. And like I said, these minigames here work. So if you go over to this rope, takes you up here. And if we go over here, there's this. Well, I don't think it actually gives you it, if I'm being brutally honest. I think... And that's something that is just how PS Home Offline is. You won't really be able to get stuff added to your inventory like that. But most likely, if we found this space, chances are the Rue who works on furniture and all that will find that and allow you to add it. So this works. Select your pose. That one's a bit weird to me because you're just facing you're not supposed to get off that side. Sprawled out back. Sprawled out front. I wish it had an animation for getting up, but oh well. There's a few others, like for example, if you go down to the water. If you go to that blue icon, it won't let you swim. So it's got swim alone. Obviously you need an outfit, which I don't have, nor do I want to put on. Then there's swim with two. Not gonna happen. Oh, hi Limmer. Hello, Hassan. And then there's this. And there's the controls. X and then push forward. Just swim fast. Just makes for an overall great one. And I happen to find the one with the sky that looks like this. Because I think I found I've seen it before, the regular version. I've seen its thumbnail, but it was at daytime. It didn't look that great, the sky, but this... Oh, wow. This is great. Neither have I. There's a lot of space. I never went here. I think I went here. I heard of this one before. This I remember all the time, but I'm trying to find the night version, but no luck with that. And then, for those of you who've played that closed beta online, all of those spaces that they had exclusively, yeah, I've taken them all. I've got them all. So let's see. We have Acorns Meadow Park Apartment Winter. Well, this isn't in online, but we've got both versions. I didn't think this even existed. I just thought there was 3 versions of that apartment and that was it. The nights, the rainy, and the normal version. That's what I thought. Turns out I was wrong. And some of these are still work in progress. Like, for example, the minigames at Acorns Meadow Park don't work. And, for example, if we go to Thanksgiving, you'll notice the sky is wrong because it's broken. So I've just put in a temporary sky for the time being. And it looks like that. But this is the Thanksgiving edition. So just after Halloween. And like I said, the minigames don't work, but this is a start. Also, I know your screen just went black. That's normal. Now it's back. That was just so I could bring up my speed key. So I can speed myself up. Everything's here. It's just not functional still. But let's say I do work on this space. I don't think the minigames are going to work. Because there's a rule of thumb I've realized about minigames. So obviously I said before, Lua posed the problem. And that's why minigames after 2010 don't work. But there's another problem that wasn't really a problem because Lua was in front of it. So we never really saw this third problem until now. And that is PSN. A lot of these minigames are tied to PSN. And a general rule of thumb is, if you want me to work on a minigame, if it has an in-game currency that you can buy on the PS Store, for example, this had the acorns, and Sodium 2 had those parts you could buy, then I can't work on that because that's tied in PSN, and we'll be calling, even to this day, we'll be calling for dead files. Because it does a lot, and I mean a lot of stuff on the server. It does everything. Calls these minigames from the server, and even then, the minigames on the server call to another server. And I don't think I'm going to get cache of that server anytime soon, so we move on. But anyways, we've got Bowling Apartment. Right here. This one some of you may have seen in my stream yesterday. But bowling, probably the most requested minigame in PS Home Offline history. It now works. Oh, I suck at this. I prefer it in real life anyway. Well, it works. Yeah, this is the bowling apartment. This is what I used to prove Shark was correct. So this, as well as the bowling minigame, was the very first thing I did. I cracked this. I used this as my proof to prove that Shark was no longer a problem. I used to call it Shark. I mean like share. Because I didn't realise it was one letter off Shark. And I thought it was one letter off share. But hey. It is what it is. We've got Music Unlimited Club, though it's not got any music, so it's kind of pointless to go to. At least right now. The Bunker Bar. Casino VIP Room. Now this, I believe, would also be a mini-game. Oh, we can fix some mini-games. We can fix some. Just not all of them. Like, for example, these had the chips you buy, but I'm going to attempt them at least. As you can see, all the tables are missing. And if you look very closely, you'll realise the glasses too. Is it? Does it just actually normally look like that? I need to have a look. Let's go in free cam. No, the glass. What? So the glass looks like that from there, and then this glass looks different. Well, that's like half the glass see-through and the other half isn't. Or is it just missing? I don't know. This confuses me. But hey, at least we found the final piece of the casino. This I've been looking for a very long time. Because I remember this, and I remember the golden hat. Is the floor solid? I don't know. Let's try it. Yes, it is. Let's see where it ends. I think it's some... Yeah, for example, it still thinks that there's seats here. I know why. I know what I'm bumping into. Because the casino got updated originally. It didn't have a bingo hall. And then it had like seats here. And this was like a wall. Like where it says bingo hall, that was a wall. And then this, like I said, was seats. And then they got rid of that. Made it go down and put a bingo hall here. Yeah, it's solid. And I like how they appear here. When they're not there in the... Well, I guess because they would be emulated by minigames. And of course, that. The logo should be there. It's not. Anyways, what else have I had working so far? I've obviously got Abbey Hill, but there's something that's broken with it that I want to show you. I think, yeah, but here's the thing. Clothing's sort of outside my jurisdiction, so for me personally, I work on spaces and mini games, but in terms of clothing, furniture, and locomotions, that's done by someone else in my team. But anyways, as you can see, this doesn't look right. I know what this is. This is a texture mess up. Because that reads out of memory. Meaning that this space is too big for its boots. And I don't know why it looks like that, but I'm going to try and find a way to fix it. Or maybe just PS Home Offline's too big, I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of... Yeah. Because here's the thing with clothing as well. I don't think I ever said this on YouTube, so I'll say it now. So, with clothing, you may have noticed that I had no clothing in the base build when I started. Then I added the clothing, and then I removed it. Here's why I did that. This was a conscious decision each and every time. So, when I started, when I first made the builds, there was a clothing website where you could download individual clothing items that you wanted and then add them to your own build, and that was pretty easy to do. Everyone knew how to do that, and I even had a tutorial on it, just in case you were a newcomer to the scene. So it was very accessible. But in about April 2022, so earlier this year, that website went down without a second warning. Well, without a warning, I should say. That just makes it sound like I got one in the first place. But that website was up 1 minute, down the next. No one said a word till it was already down. And then at that point, I started panicking. I can't even lie. I panicked. I was like, okay, what am I going to do? So I tried to get that website. Like, I tried to get it off the person who owned it. He didn't even respond. He would rather let it crash and burn than give it to me. Which, alright, that just shows where your intentions are. But anyway, so that failed. And then a few months later, while I was working on the next update, which was update 3.10, I think about a day and a half before I released it, an idea popped into my head because I was thinking about the website. And I thought, what if I just add all the clothing from the very old build? There was a build where there was clothing and one without. I was thinking, what if I just take all that clothing and add it to the build? And then, for those who don't want 10,000 clothing items, I'll make a tutorial on how to remove it, which I did. I mean, it took about a week longer than it should have, but I did it. And then, when I released and that was fine for about 2 months. And then I updated PS Home with update 3.11. And only after I released that update did I realise something. I think that was the tipping point of PS Home Offline. I think that was when the game went, okay, I can't handle this much content. Because after that update, if you went into your wardrobe and scrolled about 10 rows on like t-shirts or whatever, your game would freeze, even on our PCS3. Your PS3 would just lock up. Or you get like 2 FPS if you were lucky on our PCS3. That's if it didn't crash. So with that, I was like, okay, I need to remove the clothing, but I also still don't have a website. So I decided to open up sections in my Discord server for clothing and furniture. And there's a link for it in the description. It's at the bottom of the server list. You can just go in there and download it. Although, here's the thing. Recently, I thought about this, and what they're doing, I'm actually going to make them turn it into PKG files. So you can install it the same way you install everything. And yes, it works on our PCS3 as well. Like, what I do, unless I specifically state it, it's going to work on both platforms, on both PS3 and our PCS3. It's very rare that I have to make something that works on one. Or, if that happens, I don't release it on either and I fix it. Like, when I was making the navigators, there's something that held me back for a long time was these images. Like, you see these pretty images that make it look good? That was a problem in the beginning. And so, if you look at them, you know, different images, these were huge. Because I've built all these menus myself, and I spent a lot of time on them. I've had to revise them up. I've had to change these every single time I make an update, and that's just part of the process now. But one of the problems is these images had to load from a server. They wouldn't let you load them from your files locally on PS3 for some reason. It just refused to, so I had to use a server. And then I found a way to trick the game into thinking that your local build is the server. And now it loads them fine and pretty instantly. Because it hasn't got latency issues. And I believe that's the wrong thumbnail for links for Home Square 3. But, oh yeah, that's also something I've been working on. So, let's go here. And for those of you who've played PS Home Offline, you'll know what this place looks like. And what it looks like now. That's right. I got all this working. And I don't think I'm even done yet. So, this doesn't work. I think this takes you to the actual game itself. Which, like I said, it's got its own in-game currency. It's never going to work. But this here does take you to the casino. This here does take you to Head Candy Music Unlimited Space. And this does take you to Spunland. But stuff like over here, Tearaway, you can see it try and open a web page, which is no doubt gone. Because stuff like this was constantly changing in the world of PS Home. Same with this. See? And the same would be true for this. That's just how it goes. But yeah, I do like Home Square 3. This was one of the spaces I was like, I need to get some stuff on these podiums, which they are actually called. Because it's so good. And also on top of that, other things, like for example this here. This works as well. You can go to the malls. If I clicked on it, it would take me there, yes. And then this does the same thing. It opens a store, funny enough. Okay, now it's locked me in place. I will use my emergency eject button. Wondering what key I just pressed there? I pressed the home key on my keyboard. What that does is I have that key there just in... It's mainly for me, but you will have it as well in your builds. If you press home on your keyboard, it will just eject you to your Harbor Studio. I have it just in case, yeah. Yeah, I know about that, Toro, yeah. It used to be, and it was trying to load a commerce point. But the commerce point doesn't exist. At least the XML doesn't. Because that's the thing. I have a lot of ideas for PS Home Offline. And it's not just Shark and Lure. Because let's say I do get all of the spaces that I want. And all of the mini games working. Even then, my work isn't done. And I'm not talking about furniture and all that. I'm not. That's obviously, you know, my other teams like Rue, Konaki, and Leah. That's their job in the server. And I let them do what they want with that. I gave Rue admin, so he has full control over that. And what I do is... Well, actually, what I was saying was... let's say I do crack... Let's say everything from the Shark spaces and mini games all of that's done, right? Let's just pretend for one moment. What do I do then? Well, there's a few ideas I have. I want to make what I'm calling a modular build. And what a modular build is a build that has... So right now, PS Home Offline is about 26 gigabytes in size. And after this update, it's going to be about 30 gigabytes. And that's not a joke, by the way. That's actually what I'm aiming for. This update's going to be 4 gigabytes. And the reason I'm not going more than that is because I'm going to make it into a PKG file. Because it's going to be that big. And PKGs... Well, you can make a single file... Well, you can make a PKG over 4 gigabytes. But then, if you try to install it by USB, you have to split it into 2. And then, let's see. And then I'll make a modular build that has no spaces, none of that, and you all download them. But, that's a long time away. Because, obviously, I need to set up a server for it to download stuff from. And, most likely, that will mean online. Like, I'd need an online server. I mean, content server and multiplayer server, they can be separate. Like, for example, there's stuff that's still up from PlayStation Home content server. Not from Sony, they took all that down, but like from third-party developers. A lot of like their screen links are still up if they didn't use Sony's server. Like, for example, Pixel Junk screen links, those are actually from Pixel Junk's own website. Capcom, they've still got it up. That's a space from what, 2008? And they still got it up on their content servers that they pay for 14 years later. Which is strange to me. And then what else have I got working? I believe I did a few, Oh yeah, I should probably not use this menu because I haven't updated it to have 3.12 content, as you can see. This menu is very hands-on. And what else did I do? I did a few of these spaces. I should probably get the camera working for this. For these two. Yeah, there's one further down. That. Oh my god. Did Devil actually just send me that? I'm looking at my messages right now. I've got something we can work on. Granzella Paris apartment. You mean that? Okay, yeah, I'll give that a try soon. Remember, if it's got in-game currency, I'm screwed. Although, Paradise on a Blue Whale gives me a lot of hope that that's not the case. So, we'll see. But if we go down to Tycoon Penthouse, I'll show you something else. So, for those of you who haven't played PS Home Offline, this space, currently, so if you were to download it right now before this update comes out, these lifts, these doors are not closed and there's no lift in them. You just fall to the bottom and you can walk out. And you can't exactly go up without using debug commands. But let's say you walk over to here. It just senses you're there and it brings a lift up. And now you can go in here. Let the doors close behind you. And while it's moving, you can't actually move. I don't think that's intentional, I'd assume. But yeah, works like that. And there's also two other minigames here. One was a helicopter, and the other is the TV up there. Now, sadly, those two, I believe, are tied to PSN. As... I don't know about Granzella Southern Islands, but I will try it. That is one of my favourite spaces. Although I did try the mining game, which was my favourite out there. That didn't work, and that really upset me. Like, I was kind of sad about that. Because that was why I went there all the time. And I figured out the pattern of how to actually mine without breaking the platform. Hello, Seth. Hello, Mary. And then... that was how it went from then on. What else? So, Devil has sent me something very useful. Now, let's get to work. So there's a space that I want to work on. It's Jet Setter, or Superstar, or whatever. It's the private plane. Where is it? Somewhere around here. Oh no, it's under J. It's not under plane. Okay, there it is. Superstar, Jet Setter, private plane. I don't know if that's his actual name, but I can update that anytime. But anyways, there's a minigame that was in this space, I believe, which was right here, and it's called Storm Ace. And I used to love that minigame back in the day. Also, I don't know why this screen keeps breaking, but they all have the same video playing across all 4 of these screens, and they don't work. That will confuse me. Oh, that's alright, Seth. Don't worry. Anyways, let's get Storm Ace working. So, first of all, we need to go to... I remember where this is. This is just me knowing where files are located. I've tried this so many times, and I'm finally going to be able... Nope. Why am I searching over there? Anyways, game equals... Is there another one? Oh, the bathtub minigame. Okay, I'll ask Devil for that as well. Anyways, let's do UID equals. See if there's any of them. There is not. Game equals... Ah! So that's probably why the TV isn't working. It's a UUID. Clever. Hence why the error code is -1. Yeah, hopefully I can. I'll probably give that a try after. It takes a lot of work. But anyway, so you can see that's the UUID. And fortunately, I've been sent this. Right here. So, let's pop that into our shark tool. This was a previous minigame. Rename that. 1. We're going to leave this open, by the way. We need this selected. And now, because the tool is an actual app, let me just check that my network configuration is good. Yes, it... Oh. It's not. Well. So let's do the stat dumper. It's gone black for you, I know. No, I haven't got them yet, Seth. But I will. I know where I can find them, okay? Because here's the thing. I have about 194 caches right now. It's bound to be in one of them. And I know what will tell me if I have it or not. I have the list of everything. And it'll tell me where it is. It won't tell me where, it'll tell me if I have it or not. But anyways, there's the dumper. Screen's gone black for you, but that's okay. Wait, that's not Shark, is it? That's not a Shark SDAT. Okay, well. Looks like. Apply. Save configuration. Now let's do that again. I am genuinely surprised. If you're wondering why it matters if I'm on RPCN or not, it matters because to crack Shark, you have to be online. So this would work on PS3, but I don't want to keep file transferring that across. It's annoying. And plus, what? Really? Are RPCS3 going to ban me for this? I don't think so. Anyways, that's done. Dump. Okay, cool. It's done dumping. So, we're going to copy that. We're going to move it into the folder, minigames. This is, yes, this is my collection of everything I've worked on. But let's do Jet Setter private plane. Anyways, with Penguin World, that's a lost cause. So yeah, it's there. But anyways, stat1. Now we need that UUID. So we go here, we copy it. Actually, first thing we have to do is open this tool, which is bulk rename utility. And we now need to find what we were just working on. So minigames, Jet Setter private plane, stat1. And we select all of these files. And we go to remove. Oh yeah, you weren't here when I did that. Yeah, that works, Mary. I got the space working. I even got it to think you own the apartment, even though I don't have it in offline. Just edited a bit of the source code. And the jet ski minigame, you can go around the track. Anyways, what we do is we need to remove that 0x and we add XML to this, which is fine. Anyways, we do that. Close out. And we open the mapping tool. Objects. / enter that UUID / and now we map the Jet Setter private plane. As long as the files you're mapping are in lowercase, it'll work. And if you don't put a path prefix, you don't have to do this for spaces. In fact, don't have anything in path prefix for mapping spaces because it won't work. If I was just to do that and not put anything here, it would tell me it maps when it's done mapping, but it won't actually map. It'll tell me that it can be mapped essentially, but I won't actually do it. So it's useless if you don't know the UUID. That's why whenever I ask people for what minigames do you want? If they want a specific, if they don't tell me the space it comes from, it's not really worth it. It's going to be, I won't be able to find it. And UUID takes about 2 minutes off my time, which is quite valuable. Anyways, as you can see, that's here. So now let me just, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to D drive. We're going to copy this. Paste that here. Find the XMLs. As you can see, it created an objects folder. Inside it, put that. Now we just need to copy that UUID once more. And we cut and we paste. Now here's something that you might not know if you're mapping minigames. So these 3 files are not enough to make it work. What it needs is one of these. You need to put that there. This object ODC, it will not tell you the game isn't working because of that. You're just expected to know. But you just copy this generic object file. It is the difference between the minigame working and it not working for a reason it doesn't say. But that actually fixed one of the minigames. People used to think it was the MP4 in a minigame that didn't work, but it's that. Anyways, as you can see, what's this? That's a DDS file. If it says it right there, if the first 3 letters are in plain text, it's a DDS file. However, I don't know where this goes. And what's this? I don't know what this file type is. But let's try using this anyway. So let's go to Alt-Tab Samanda. This is another tool I use. We click on this, we click Control F7, uppercase. If you don't put it in uppercase, PS3 Hen won't be able to read it. It's not really relevant for our PCS3. It knows the difference, but PS3 won't even see those files. And make sure you're not in it. Like, for example, let's say I'm trying to map it. Don't be here. Go to, like, here. And then go, like, here. Because if it says error 5, access denied, it means you're in the folder still. And it won't map it. Anyways, this looks good. Now, let's try this. Object Tools, USRDIR, paste, replace. Now let's go to PlayStation Home. I know it goes black every time I double click on the screen to make it full screen. That's just something it does. Because there's two ways to record your screen with this. Either record it where it doesn't go black but it freezes on the image. Or it does that and then it loads the actual what it's showing. But anyways, let's go to Jet Setter, Private Plane. There you are. Yeah. Let's go here, Storm Ace. Okay, it's going to be moaning about file. Ooh. Ooh, okay. It's a TTF file. Okay. That helps. I'm going to do that on my other screen just for the moment so I can read this. But you know what I'm doing. I'm just taking that file that I didn't know the extension for and renaming it to that. Hold on. Can it not map TTF files? Yes, I am, yeah. Because it's spitting out this. It's looking for a file. That's TTF. Anyways. I know your screen's going black and whatnot. It'll be fine soon. Okay, so the name is Square. I need to put this in caps. Square 721 underscore bold extended underscore bt dot ttf. There we go. And now let's, where does that go? That goes in at minigames, private plain test, file. Looks like I need to make a font folder. Why are you here, Terry? You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. Unless you want to watch me map a bunch of files, this is going to be very boring for you. But anyways, let's continue. Like that. And now, let's reload. Okay, let's see. Ah! So that is the missing texture file. Okay, cool. Let's rename that. Lightning to X2 blue. Cool. Okay, right. ATG particles, mansion, effects. Alright, now we've mapped both of those. We now actually do what we're supposed to do. Now, reload the Space, there we are. Ooh! Ooh. What's going on? Okay, that's strange. Let's reload it. In we go. Wow, this don't work, does it? Okay, it's looking for it in that folder, so how about we go there? What was it? Minigame. .lua. Yeah, I've tried reloading, not gonna work. So let's go. Let's go back there. So it's mini games, private plane test lure. Whoops. Mini games, private plane test lure, and then it's where's main? Oh, it's mini game. Used to the main one being the other. Right, okay. It was saying about a nil value scene object. Okay, maybe it's that false one. So, false. Well, let's do scene object. Find. Yeah, this is weird. That's line 42, and then this is line 101. Wow. Controller initiate, that probably is. So what else is it spitting at me? Let's see. Okay, on local player join, there's an error. So, it's within that function. Something is going wrong here. Called when the player leaves the game. Line to 96. So let's do scene object again. Damn, I can't figure this out. That might have to be something for another time. So, what space should we work on next? It can be a space, well, space or a mini game. I know people would like Edo. Should I work on Edo? Or is there a space that you are looking for? Or a mini game that you want working that I should also do? Okay. Yep, Edo it is. Right. Forgive me, but I'm not into all that Japanese stuff. So you're going to have to forgive me that I don't actually know what space it is. So, I'm going to show you my secret of how I remember this. Is it this one here? Is it just the regular Granzilla Edo, Great Edo of Nippon? Is it just that? Give you a few seconds since I know my stream is a few seconds behind. Okay, cool. Right. Now we've got that. We can sort of just forget about that for now. Let's go to Great Edo of Nippon. This is a local scene. It's where every single space has to be in here, otherwise it can't show up on the navigator. So we've got Edo, AJP, map, scenes, Edo GZ. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to... It doesn't start in environments, which is something I know Granzella are infamous for doing. Edo, AJP, map, scenes. They always develop their spaces like that, but it will be here. Edo GZ. Now, let's have a look at game equals find all in current document, and oh my good lord. Wow. Trying to think which one should we start on, but then again, there's 17 mini games. I could get all of these done in an hour. So what I like to do is, I don't like to keep this search result open. So what I do is I copy that and I pop it into a bit of temp text. And this is how I keep track of scene IDs. If there's two scene IDs that are the same, furniture will overlap each other. Doesn't really matter for public spaces, but does for private. But I'm laying the groundwork for something else, actually. Anyways, let's put it here. Just like that, boom. Okay, right. So we need to see if there's any duplicates of any UUIDs. I need to check if the same UUID is repeated twice. If I do that, it'll tell me everything with game, and I'm doing the same with this. Because then I know if I've got 17 unique UUIDs, or if I'm going to be doing the same minigame twice. I know I do want to do that as well, Paul, but there is so much on my plate that I'm thinking of doing. It's insane. Like, trust me, no one wants to get everything done more than I do, but it's me that's actually doing it. And it's very draining sometimes. Anyways, let's keep going. CF, nope, not that. Okay, it looks like that is actually 17 unique minigames. Cool. I mean, they don't have any of the same names. Maybe that does. Oh, well, this is 17 unique minigames. Cool. Okay, right. Now, for this, I usually prefer to work with my 3 monitors, but I'm going to show you what I would do. So, first thing you do is we start at the top. So this is 1, 2, 3, so on down to 17. That's how I name them. It's relevant to the tool I use. So we look for this UUID. And then I have a big collection of all of my mini games. But anything with a UUID goes in this category. Find all in current document. As you can see, whole list of them. ODC files, I don't want them. But I want to go for the Shark one purely because it'll save me having to log out Well, change PSN or RPCN. Anyways, let's start with this one. So there's that. Boom. Now we're just going to close this, and I'm going to get this set up because we're going to need it. Apply. Save custom configuration. Boom. And now we go into, with that number we copied, wherever it was, wherever that number you saw me copy, not the UID, I go into my collection of cache data, object dev, I search it, and that is the mini game. It fishes it out eventually, and then we put it in stats. And now we do this for each and every one of them. So now we go back to the list, temp text, in here, objects, and we look for just anything that's Shark, which is after mid 2013. No, that's not what it is. This is just me working on it, getting more content working for PS Home on PS3 and PC. But no, it's not coming to PS4 unless PS5 decides to work with PS3 games, and somehow we can get a developer build of it onto it, which I doubt will ever happen if I'm being brutally honest. Anyways, we copy that number, then go into, click off it, into our list, and there we go. Oh yeah, I didn't name these, my bad. So this will be 2 because it's second in that list, and this will be 1. So we're going to do this until we have all 17 of those Edo mini games. Then we can know for certain if Edo works or not, because this is how we find out. Will this take long? Yes. Is it worth it? Yes. PC. Okay, we'll look for something with January 2014, but this will do. I like to get all my mini games that are in the same space from around the same time frame, because I've seen it look very weird. Like Home Square 3 you saw, those promotions are from different months of the year. So in other words, they were never existing together. Anyways, there's that. And then where was I? Yep. This is my drive. There we go. Whoops, hit my mic button. That's fine. 3. Go back to here. And then we go to this one. Oh, whoops. I did it wrong. cool. January. Well, there's none from January. Okay, cool. We will do the next best thing. April. Yep. Yeah, that's true. This is like I get requested a lot, but it's worth it. It's worth it, devil. I mean, how many were there for Tundra Lodge, the open house? It's got one mini game, but 9 other UUIDs for furniture because it's an open house, so they want to promote some furniture in it. So 90% of that work for that space was those props around the map. It's worth it though. It paid off. Same with what I did for Paradise on a Blue Whale. That is one of the best so far. So there's that. There we go, January. Oh, nope, that's the ODC. 104. Paste. And also, yes, I'm going to have to map these one by one as well. Oh, this is great. At least I don't have to use an SDC file for any of these. That would just be salt in the wound. Anyways, where was I? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the intro camera. I wash eye vendor motion area. Well, that is. Okay, cool. But yeah, it's very boring, I know. This is how it goes. That. Six. As you can see, multi-monitors does help with this, but I'm not using it right now. So obviously, you know, I'd have a folder open in here, and then I have one open here just so it'd be easy to do it. But for the sake of the stream, I'm not doing that. So you get to see how I work. Then there's 7. Now what else? Copy. Oh no, I'm just damn tired, yeah. I'm a bit tired, but I'll be alright. Anyway, so I'm a little thirsty. I've got a drink next to me now. Yeah. Where was I? Was that number 8? I lost track. Yeah, that is 8. I just hope this is all worth it. Because if not, you maybe do 7. I mean, then again, you didn't, but you wouldn't know it works until... For stuff like this, you don't know until you try. Keep it going. ATF. I wonder why it comes up multiple times. It's because it's different caches that I have that have them. And there's that. Where are we? Nope, wrong place. So it used to go into that drive. It's the E drive. Not that one. 9. EC. Keep it going. Nearly there. Okay, 7 left. I'm gonna be exhausted. But this is gonna be worth it, okay? Because then, even if it don't work, the question gets put to bed. Once and for all. DFC. Objects. Find on current state. It's that. Add that. My brain isn't even register I'm doing this anymore. It's like I'm sleepwalking. Okay, right. $12. Keep it going. Nah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Trust me. Like, me getting this done, I will feel bad if I don't do this. Trust me. I can do this. I'm not going to collapse, alright? I'm sitting down after all. Because trust me, when I get to the end, that actually does motivate me. And if any of you knew how I made update 3.03, that update has 55 spaces in it. I had to map it like this. I did that update in 3 days. Because all I did was work on that update. That's literally it. I'd be working for about 9 hours straight on that. It paid off. The update went from nothing to the biggest update in 3 days. So don't worry. Trust me, when I'm motivated like this, ain't nothing stopping me. So it's not my pain receptors or whatever they're called, nerves. It's like they've been turned off or something. Ooh! That's a non-shark. Fuck. Ugh. I know that date. That breaks up the flow so much. Ugh. Okay, doesn't matter. Because we move on. Was that 14? It was. Because I know how this will end. Ugh. If it takes long to search, I just go there and go next to it. Okay, copy. Paste. So 14. If I ever forget, remind me that 14 is non-shark and I need to sign out to do that. But anyways. Yeah, this is the work that goes into PlayStation Home Offline. I mean, it's worth it. Because no one else is going to do it. Oh, whoops. Skipped ahead. Silly me. Oh, an April Fool's one. I sure hope it wasn't like that. I hope the April Fool's joke isn't broken, because that won't be funny. Stat. That's 15. $16. Thank you, Denny. Don't worry, I'm gonna keep going, I'll be fine. Because the mapping might take a bit. Anyways, shark. And yeah, if you want to take the time to suggest other things as well, because I'm going to write all these down probably like tomorrow or Sunday. I'm going to write down everything I need to do. I'm not going to try and do it all in one night, or even one day, because that ain't going to happen. I can't do a 3.03 again. I simply can't. It's impossible. But I can sure as hell do my best to make it worth it. Okay, cool. Is that? 16. Okay, right. Now for the last one. Temp text. It's good to have just a file that you can just dump any text into, really. I think that was my headphones dying, so hold on. Allow me to... Let me just... one moment. Let me plug these in. There we go. Cool copy. This will do. Copy. And paste. Now I believe 14 is the one that's not going to decrypt itself. So let's go. Oh, you can't even see this. That's weird. That's a problem. Well, it's a pretty boring auto dumper. I literally press start and then it tells me when it's done. That's all this is. However, if it doesn't do 6, well, apart from 14, I know what it is. I know what the problem is. Oh. It's frozen like this, but that's normal. Dumper finished. Cool. Now, Alt F4. Now let's go back to here. So we've got 1 through 17. Everything but 14 is here. That is what I expected. Cool. Minigames. Edo. Now we paste them here. Now we go back. We delete everything but that and that. There we go. Now we change the custom configuration to that. Never realized what the icon meant until recently. It means custom configuration. What the hell was that? Anyways, let's dump. There we go, it's done. Now we go back to the beast. Stat 14. Minigames. Edo. Then we paste. But first I'm going to do that just before I forget. And then just for good measure, why not? PCN, save configuration. Okay, cool. Right. Now for the mapping procedure. Oh no, it's not there. It's here. Edo. Let's do these one by... Ah, yes. First thing we got to do is go into each of these folders and take off the 0x at the start of the name. Fortunately, that is really easy. Rename. Okay. Oh, really? What, do I just... Okay, I must be blind. Ah, this. Subfolders. Ah, is this everything? Okay, yep, doing that. Okay, that looks good. Right. Let's see, how many... Rename... Fire. Looks like it's all done. Thank you for that, Devil. Oh, yes, that is true. Well, okay, we can redo that one. Or I can just manually delete all of that. There's a tool for that, isn't there? No, it's not that. Wow. Doesn't matter. Because I'll just redo it. Okay, cool. Delete. Copy. Wait, no. Need to go here first. Okay, so Sparks. Was this... I think I might know what that is. Was that a hen build? And did you get it from GitHub? Because that is not a build that I have touched. I think I know what you're referring to because I was annoyed at that build, to say the least. It's a bit personal what I have against that build and its creator, but yeah, so with that build wasn't made by me, and it's on a completely different situation, I should say. But if you want, if you look on my channel, there'll be a tutorial on how to install PS Home offline. Use that build that's linked in the video description. That will be your best bet. Because that build with Nagato, that Nagato made, has about 3 spaces in it. Whereas mine is about to have over 500 in this next update. I think that might be the target. Get 500 spaces in the entire build, and then the rest of the 4 gigabytes is just dedicated to minigames. Yeah, it's in fact, let me grab up my own link. Hold on a moment. I will send you my video. My channel. Hey guys, Splice Wave here. Okay, yep. Live. So about online, no, not yet at least. That is something I want to do in the future. But right now, what my focus is, and this will take a long time, I want to focus on getting all the mini games and spaces. And then I'll go online with all that. Because it's definitely on my mind. It's just I want to get the base foundation absolutely flawless first. I want to get the content so good. There's a lot I want to do. I've said this already in the stream. There's a lot I want to do. Anyways, I will post the link. There you go. Okay, cool. So now, continue on. We got that. Whoops, that was the YouTube link. Wow. Okay, no worries. Temporary setback. Oh, nope, that's... I don't think I actually copied that. There we go. Third time's the charm. Ain't gonna find anything with a UUID. And there's a lot you could do. Like, when you get on there, you'll probably notice there's little to no clothing on there. If you go in my Discord, you can find where to download that stuff. There's a lot coming in the future as well, so... yeah, right now it's home offline only, but eventually I will get into online stuff. Just not anytime soon. Anyways, let's dump that stat. Remember Devil saying about not letting the auto dump, but wouldn't it take longer to type it out, or just as long? Personally, I just always let it dump itself. Since if I don't want it dumped, I don't put it in the stat folder in the first place. Anyways, that's done. Yeah, because there's a lot of content, and because of that, it's why I like... a lot of people actually say to me to get this space when I already have it in offline. It's just that it's so deep in the content. It's buried. Like, you'd be forgiven for not thinking the playground is in PS Home Offline. That's how far down the more spaces list it is. And that's only because it's alphabetical. Because I love that space. Anyways, minigames. Edo. Paste. S.1. Got to remove the 0x. If we don't remove the 0x, we can't map it. Put the XML because it does a more thorough job when it maps. But as you can see, done. Now, we have it looking like that. And now we go back to here. So let's get these minigames mapped. We'll do them one at a time. So first we copy the UUID of the first minigame. Then we go out of here. We go into here. We open this tool. Mapper. Objects. / paste the UUID / and we do the extracted bar. Edo. Done. Now let's get this working. So, well, looks like it's got 3 files. That's great. We're going to copy this to make my life even easier. Find that. It's created a folder for us. Very nice. Now we go in, we copy that UUID, which is already selected. Then we make a folder. Those 3 unnamed files became these. It found the name of it, and it made it that. Otherwise, you have to open it and realize which is the object, which is the resources. And then when that's done, object ODC, paste. Cool, that's the first mini game done. Obviously, they're not in caps yet, but I do that at the end. I only put things in caps right at the end, because as you can see, if we go to this stuff that's in caps means that I've completed it. So for example, I've done the bunker bar. Like, that's fully working. This I could add to the update folder if I wanted. Obviously, I haven't made it yet because it's not pinned here. But like Toro Station, that's not done yet. It's just things I keep. And mini games, that's lowercase because it's never done. The work will never be done. But anyways, that's that all sorted. Now let's move on to the next Edo minigame. So now we need the second UUID. Open it up, mapper, objects, / map. Map. Might take a while because it's 145 files as opposed to like, what was the last one, 20? Yeah. Although I did find a minigame earlier that had 1,460 something files. And it still didn't work. I think it's called it's like from online or TTF files. Which I should probably check. But anyways, that's done. Oh. I have these here just so they're in easy reach of each other. I just do that. Makes an object folder and moves them. Then I delete that because I don't need it. Then I go back to here. If I was working off this off camera, that notepad would be on another monitor. And then on my, well, that'd be on my left monitor, and then on my right monitor would be the D drive. There we go. Doing this slows me down a little bit, but I don't mind if I get to show people how I work. It is what it is. Whoops, nope. It's step 3 we're on now. Mapper. Browse. Step 3. Okay, let's take a little longer than last time. Just a few more files. Okay, yep. Keep it coming. If you're wondering about this tool nearly crashing itself, that's very normal for that to happen. So don't think that anything's gone wrong. If it doesn't do this, it's weird. That's how it is. Anyways. Oh yeah, something else I wanted to bring up. So, in PS Home Offline, everyone knows I have that minigame category underneath the magnifying glass near the bottom. But after this update, that category is going to have probably about 80% of the spaces in it. Should I get rid of that because it's practically another more spaces? Should I keep it? Because more minigames will be in there than not. And if anything, it should become a list of spaces that don't have working minigames. So then it doesn't get full up. But, I don't know. It's a lot to think about right now. Because I always like to ask people on decisions that affect them. Like when I discontinue the Dex build, which, in hindsight, I don't know why I was so cautious about, but it was worth it. Right, okay. Whoops. We need that UUID. Object ODC. The private space. Well, we'll go to it after this. How about that, Marion? Once I've done mapping Edo, I'll show you the Tundra lounge. I'll show you it working. Then what is next? So if you're thinking about using the same UUID to map things, won't work. I tried that before. If I enter the wrong UUID, it doesn't work. And I didn't even realize I entered the wrong UUID. So, yeah. I do have to map these one by one, and there's no getting around that. At least right now. Then we go on to find XMLs. Oh, that's refreshing. Then there's this. Yeah, this is all Edo, Marion. There's 17 minigames, and I'm getting all 17 to work if possible. Unfortunately, well, we'll find out. I mean, this has been highly requested, and if I say I've tried, at least I could say I've tried. We will see. There's only really one way to find out with this stuff, and that's to actually do it. So, objects slash in fact, I've got a new way of doing this. If I do it like this, this will be mapped in a few seconds. Yeah. How about I do that, and then I run and grab that. Find XMLs. That saves me going having to go back into what I just went into. Okay. I mean, it does mean I have to grab that, but I need to change UID after this anyway. Okay, that means we are at 6 of 17. This one is minigame. I wash, I vendor, motion area. Clever. Where's map? Oh, wow, that was quick. Whoops. Paste. Cool. A5. Keep it going. Ugh. I am knackering myself out with this, but no excuses. I'm gonna sleep well tonight after all this. Jeez. There we go. 87 items, that might be a little while. Oh, it's got Hanker Guy textures. Didn't expect that. Okay. Now. Keep it going. And okay, we're halfway there now. Ugh. This better be worth it. Actually, it is. Even if it doesn't work, it's worth it. For the sake of the reason that I can say I actually did try. And I have this evidence to support it. Hell yes. Right, objects. Keep it going. Objects done. Whew. So any questions you guys have while you're watching anyway? Any space ideas further on? Because right now, Edo's obviously the big one that everyone wants to see working, but is there anything else? And also about Whimsy Hollow, I didn't actually show that off, but I actually got that space in. I didn't get the minigame working, but I did get the space. The minigame I imported, I tried it, it just didn't work. Kept complaining about something I don't know about. But anyways. That's already there, Dr. Feelgood. That's actually already in offline, but I think you mean the mini games. I think those work as well, although I could be wrong. Actually, they're so old that they aren't even Lua. Those are neither. Those can't even be Shark or Lua. That's how old it is. And that impresses me. I actually forgot that Spaces could eat. Yeah. I think a while ago Jumpsuit was working on them. I think he gave me a pack of them. Though I do not remember entirely, but it could be the case. But yeah, I will double check that. Because I think he's one of those people that, you know how I put ODC files right here? He doesn't do that. And I don't know if he knows that's the reason his minigames didn't work. Which is true. But anyways, not to shit on him. Hello, Lele. Let's keep it going. So, that's going well. So right now, about 3/4 of the way done with Edo. Because that's been a requested minigame to work on. As you can see, I'm in the midst of working on it. So there's 17 minigames. I'm going to see if I can get all 17 of them working. And then I'll show what else I've done, and then I'll end the stream for tonight. And I'll try and stream again tomorrow at the same time. And maybe on Sunday as well. And so on. Because I do, and I will work during the day as well. Like, I'll do stuff off camera and show it to you all. Like, I'll do a bit of both. Because if I stream during the day, no one's going to watch it. If I stream at night, people will. But anyways, what did I just do? Did that minigame? Yes, it is done. So 8F is done. Now we're on to this. Object slash. few more seconds and it should have mapped itself. I think I do like my approach of paste it like that. That helps. Brings up one less bright light in my face. And they're so quick I don't even get to cancel that script after I start it. Anyways, that's done. Now on to 11 out of 17. Mapper. Objects. Well, that was quick. Wow, Wow. This, I'm going to be done in 5 minutes. I think tomorrow, if I can, try and put some non-copyrighted music. I think I know where I can get some. Just to brighten the mood. Done. I feel like I'm forgetting something. But I'm not. Somehow, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Or am I just so used to doing it that I am just forgetting that I do certain things? Maybe it's that. Damn, this is just going quick now. I'll have this done in 10 minutes, I reckon. If that. I guess because I'm not creating the objects folder and renaming these 3 files by hand this time, it feels a lot slower, but it's going well, honestly. Well, maybe I should do that. Hey, Dan Master. Welcome to the stream. In case you're wondering what I'm doing right now, what I'm doing is getting Great Edo of Nippon's, well, trying to get their minigames working. I'm nearly about to test them. Oh yeah, this is the file that is such a lie. Why does it do that? They're fine. So if you don't understand it, I'm basically doing a load of mapping. There's 17 minigames for Edo. I'm mapping every single one of them. Which is what I need to do if I want them to work. And these are what is known as UUIDs. Without them, minigames ain't going to do anything for you. Oh wow, it's died again. Okay, I will leave this plugged in this time. Why not just do that? Oh wait, yeah, I have to bring up the white thing again. Yeah, I think I just... That's the worst of the three worlds. Okay, maybe I'll wait until the very end. And here we go. Bind XMLs. 10A. Cool. Cool. Now on to the third one. Fourth one, sorry. Damn, I can't count. Fourth last. Okay, this one's got a few to map. Yay. So about that, the bowling alley, that's not working, but bowling and pool do work. So let me explain. So in the late years of PS Home, in 2014, they added the bowling apartment, and bowling and pool work there. So they don't work in the bowling alley, but they do work in the bowling apartment, which was the very first thing I made. Or made work in this update, at least. Would I have preferred it like that? No. But that is the... Well, currently, I don't know if it will change when I actually release 3.12. But that's how it stands presently in time, because everything's work in progress. And then mapped. Think about it, hold on. Yeah, that was, like I said, first space I did for this update. And it's what I used as proof. So if you have any suggestions for like other mini games, feel free to suggest them, because I am taking them. But here's some advice for your suggestions. If you're suggesting a mini game and it has a currency you can buy in the PS Store, it's almost definitely not going to work, because that's tied to PSN. And it's going to be calling from a dead server. And I cannot possibly get that file from that server unless I had an insider. And I'm not going to bother with that. Anyways, second last mini game. We're nearly done. We are nearly done. Nearly time to get this bucket of bolts to work. Oh wow, this is a pretty big mini game. Look at it. Okay, that might take a few minutes. So, while that goes on, I'm actually going to map the other one. Because and map. Can map 2 mini games at once. How many files are in there? Okay, that will map slightly faster. Hello, Miss Betty Boop. Nearly got Edo working. Well, if it's ever going to work, this is the time. This is the first time it's going to work. So let us think. Wait, where? To make sure I'm copying that. Hey, this should nearly be done. But that's SStat 17 done. Now all we need to do is get ready for that. See if Edo will work. Yeah, that's refreshing. 436 files. I just pray there's no leftover files. Please, that makes me so nervous nowadays. Yeah, I'll show off everything I've got working so far at the end of the stream for anyone still around. Come on. So nearly close. Damn, yeah, this is taking a while. We'll be done soon though, don't worry. So, a lot of new content, but right now, just need to map this, and then I'll show you everything that's new. So there's a lot of new content. So there's a lot of mini games that can work. And there's so far quite a few spaces, quite a few new spaces. This is going to be the best update PS Home Offline has ever seen. Mark my words. And then 3.13 will be just as good. And maybe 3.14, depending on how much content there is. But yeah, I've got the next 2 updates planned. And I never do updates back to back. I usually have at least a day before I make the new update. But after I release 3.12, I'm starting straight away. What space is that? I actually don't know. Well, I think I forgot actually. What space is it? What space are you waiting on? Ah, so that mini game won't work. Unfortunately, that's tied to PSN. I mean, I would love that to work personally, but I don't think I should even try it just based on what I know. I mean, I could just try it just to say I've done it. I mean, I'm doing this, and people were telling me not to do this earlier, but we'll see. We'll see after this maps, and wow, this is taking longer than I expected. Probably it has a lot of missing files, I bet. After this tonight, I'm having a look at that tool and I'm modifying it again. Yeah. Didn't think it would. The thing is, unless we had someone like on the inside of Sony, it ain't gonna work, yeah. How long has this been mapping for? 4 minutes now? It's found a file it can't map, I bet. I bet that's what it's doing. Okay, so tied to Sony means it's a mini game that... So the mini game's called from... It means it calls to the PSN server, and that PSN server is dead, okay? It means that the file it's requesting doesn't exist, and we can't get that file to run locally even. That's how I'd put it. It means that unless we somehow got an archive of it, which would basically mean we're playing on like a saved profile that you can't, like, you know, add to or delete from, which is my theory on it, it's not going to work, sadly. However, everything that can work, I'll try my best to make work. Because there's a lot. Like I said, I'm doing Edo. That's 17 mini games I'm doing right here. I'm doing a 1x1. And this is the last one before I add them all. Well, first I have to make them all in caps, but that'll take a few seconds. Midway, it depends. Did that have an in-game currency you could buy? I don't know. It depends. Like, for example, Audi V-Run did that. No, it didn't. It had a reward, but that wasn't tied to PSN. That was tied to home. And if it's tied to home just by itself, it'll work. If it's tied to PSN, good luck with that. Okay, yeah, I don't think it would work. But I will try it another day. But anyways, let's add all 17 of these. And I'm going to need split monitor. Because, wow. Okay, first I'm going to do a check. Object ODC. I need to find... Okay, cool. And then find XMLs. Okay, cool. Clean as a whistle. Lovely. Now, put everything in caps. Edo. Cool. Now, what I'm going to do is essentially copy this and paste it here. However, I'm going to do that on my other monitor because it is going to make this so much quicker. And we don't really need to see me copy and paste a bunch of files over. But you know what I'm doing. Just dragging these into there and then clicking overwrite. And once we've done all 17, I'm going to boot up PS Home and we're going to try this. And whatever works, works. Although, that being said, there is sometimes, like for example, that lodge, that Tundra lodge, believe it or not, that minigame, I had to manually edit myself. I had to trick the minigame into thinking that I own the apartment. I had to change a false into a true in coding terms. So it thinks I own the minigame and it lets me go down the stairs. Well, it thinks I own the apartment, but I don't. Well, that being said, with these minigames, it has occurred to me that I should probably change the local scene.xml files to have the real scene name because it's causing a problem now. But hey, let's go. Oh, Konami Penthouse. Okay. But did that have a single player mode? Because I know that works on online, I've seen it. But does it have single player? That is the question. Because if it does, I'll add that, sure. Just that I saw it with multiple people and, you know, does that have you face off against a computer or like a high score? Because if it has either of those, I'm adding it. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It's time to fire it up. Ugh. I've been waiting for this for over an hour. Ugh. Yeah, I'm gonna need it because I swear I'm gonna actually break down if not something decent works. This looks different. Wow, the FPS is low. Look at that. 20 FPS. Okay. What? Oh, that's annoying. Let's turn on speed. Ooh. So this is Edo. There's blow dart and then there's Ah, okay. Alright, let's try this one. Ooh! You got Edo in online? Didn't even see you had Edo. Anyways, it's nice to know that this works. Just everyone's picture doesn't work, and yeah. Needless to say, a scoreboard ain't gonna work either. What about this? I think it's probably calling to a commerce point, perhaps. Yeah, it does. I call this a success. So the photo works in online, you're saying, Marion. This over here works in online. If I go on this, oh look. Failed to load object XML. Right, okay, let me check that that's the reason why. I'm gonna do this on my other monitor so I can read that. But let me read it. Okay. No, stop. Stop it. Stay still. A7, that is. Okay, cool. You know what? I can just read it off this. Which one is A7? That's the photo one, so it's... What the? Is it calling for a mini game that's not even here? Hold on, hold on. Don't tell me I didn't do the thing I should have done at the start. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Guess what? There's more. There's more, right. Let's do a search. A7. Is that real? A721E. That's not it. Yeah, it doesn't exist. It's not calling for that. Ugh. You know what's worse? I'm gonna have to screenshot that because if that's the reason why it's not working, oh, I'm gonna be annoyed. Let's make this that screen. And let's let it. Cool. Now we've got it pasted. Lovely. Now I have that image. Cool. Now let's look up. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like those arcade games as well because, like, for example, Icebreaker calls another UUID inside its UUID, which you can actually find. But let's read that UUID, and I'm going to type it out. There's those other two UUIDs I don't know if I should do, but anyway. UUID. We're going to call that 18, so it's A721E. I'm reading it off another monitor in case you're wondering. Dash. Makes sense to me. And after you've done this, for 2.5 years. You get used to it. 4A4, E4F. Seriously, why is it calling this UUID? Or maybe it's, yeah, maybe it's within the Lua, like Devil said. I hope I've typed this right. I mean, I'll know because it won't bring up a UUID with that name ever if it's wrong. Anyways, there we go. There is minigame 18. Now, let's find it. Cool, we got it. It's Shark. Also, yeah, Glittering Sands, that's also another one on my mind. Object dev. Yes, that. $18. Let's roll. Cool. Back to the dumper. Ooh. But it found that. I mean, it's maybe. I think I know why. I know why. This is something that you rarely have to do, but it does happen sometimes. There. Oh, you didn't even see that. I changed the shark key. And I know that's a shark that. It's not. It's after shark came in, so. Okay. The dump folder. Yes, it was that. It's not just a simple press X. Sometimes it's the second shark key. Very rarely though, so I wouldn't base anything on it. But if it don't work with the first, try the second. And make sure you know when shark was introduced. Okay, cool. Excellent. Oh, no, I'm not putting that in caps. 310 files. There we are. And now let's see if this will fix Edo. Because when it's spitting that stuff in my face, I don't like it. Thing is, because they're XMLs, I could actually map the objects folder right then and there. Well, I don't want to overlap it, so I'm just going to leave it to do what it does. And then we'll get back to the Edo map in PlayStation Home. Cool. And then just your standard procedure. Now, the last slice of the pie. Cool. Well, that's a new folder, AP 2012. Okay, right, now back to Edo. Gonna go blackout, yep. Whoops. Now let's see if that fixed it. Everyone's picture. I'm gonna leave this open just in case. Ah! Okay, a lot of white text. That's good. As opposed to red. What the hell's that supposed to do? Okay, I'm now stuck. I can't move. Can I at least... Yep, I am now teleported to camera. I am now being held against my will. Oh, it's loading at the bottom, never mind. Never, and it's not. Okay, cool. Do not go in there. I mean, you have to quit the minigame, but hey. Right, what else? What else works around here? Let me check. Okay, cool. Two false? Oh, it's based on tickets. Okay. And then there's screen links we need to do. Okay, this sounds good. Well, there's Edo working for you. I know someone else will be pleased about that. Can you go up? No, you can't. Ah, looks like a chicken hen. Seriously, it looks like they keep chickens in there. Okay. The scene itself has lure. Yeah, there is some, like, even some encrypted lure. The client can actually read it. Because Devil actually tried that with, what was it? But if it was broken, it would be saying something in red, because it'd be loading it then. But I'll think about that. Anyways, what else? Let's go over everything that I've done. So, we've got Abbey Hill Cottage. This one's currently work in progress. Winter Retreat, same thing. We've got loads of versions of Acorns Meadow Park, and I'm going to get every single one of them, by the way. So, if you're wondering... Yes, I'm going there now, Marion. But I'm just going through them all and telling you my stance on them. Aston Republic Part, the mini-kart game, actually causes the space to freeze your RPCS3 build, so I assume it'd do the same on PS3. So I've had no choice but to not do that. Bowling Apartment. Let's show everyone that pool and bowling are working. Because of the payment... No. Oh my god, Seb. Uh, if I say no, does it make me look bad? Ooh, that wasn't bad. I wish I could have got a 9 out of that. Oh, there was 7. Yeah, no trains now. That's also tied to PSN. But, or actually, I'm going to give it a try anyways in a few days. Ooh! Hell yes. I've got 8. Lovely. I already had the scene. I've had it for years. This is one of those spaces. This is one of the already existing spaces, so no doubt that the Edo is the one that's non-shark. But that is a good point. So I can do that another time. Just right now, I'm about to end the stream, and then I want to show everyone everything I've done so far. So first, there's Paradise on a Blue Whale. I will go to this after. Keep your eye on Marion. Paradise on a Blue Whale starts on a black screen. Don't worry, everything is fine. And we have that gorgeous atmosphere. And then we've got the whale jumping out, drenching the island. And then you got an intro cutscene. And the mini games here, as you saw, most of them work. Now that is how I feel after all that Edo work, okay? That is how I feel. And then there's this here, which is, it teleports you to somewhere else, but it's not going to work because I haven't edited the scene IDs to what they are in offline. And I don't know where they're located. I legit tried to find, I just went in those files and went scene, ID. I tried finding those words and couldn't find them. It's like they're hard baked into the minigame. But anyways, this works here too. That brings up the menu, but obviously you can't use any of the options because you can't swim with someone else. And on top of that, you can't swim alone because you don't have the outfit. It's smart about that. And then what else? Polar Rust Tundra Lodge. So, there's 10 mini games here. 9 of them are furniture items. But if we go here, I've tricked it into actually thinking I own the apartment. So stuff like this. This is just pre-placed, and no, this is not an apartment. As you can see, it's an open house. I don't know if we have the apartment version, because it must not, either it doesn't have the same name, or we just don't have it. But I will try and find it another time, but hey. Let's go. And jump. Although here's the thing, I know there was a full version of this like mini game, and that did actually like bring up the menu and let you select a track, but it's a bit broken. Alright, because you know when I went off that hill, before I even got to that bit where I first did a jump, it puts an invisible barrier there. So right now, this is really the best you're going to get. But I will keep trying. And what I love about this is I never actually experienced this mini game back when Home was online. Never even knew about this space. And where did I just see that hut? There it is. What I love is that this space is fully made like that. This is one of my new favourite spaces now. You can go in here, just sit by the fire. And have your gold shine. Mmm. Make sure it looks good. Let's go. I love how I can still turn even while doing that. And that's how you come to a complete stop. Woo! It's got that marker just in case you need to find it. Clever. Very clever. Anyways, guys, I think that'll do for tonight. I'm gonna end the stream here. Yes, Sparks, you will not regret that, okay? This is gonna be so much better. Anyways, guys, I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you all for watching. And hopefully I'll be streaming tomorrow at the same time, 8 PM Greenwich Mean Time. Yeah, that's about... I don't even know. Yeah, I will see you all tomorrow. Good night all.